Hi everybody, John Locke here, and today I've got an update on the SC1 Lishi cutter jigs that I've made. This is version 1.1, and well, right off the bat, still some issues need to be ironed out, but some have been fixed, and we're gonna keep working on these and get them till they're great. So let's see, things that are fixed. Well, the lid now fits on the box, so if you print this lid, pressure fit in, doesn't break the box. This looks like that issue is solved. I've got the lids with my logo. Without the logo, you can download those. Let's see. On the jigs themselves, well, I've removed the numbering that was at the top. I've left the guidelines, but I've just put in an arrow in the direction that the key should be inserted into the jig, and that prints much nicer. These are printed face down like this on the print bed. With that, the arrows print much better than the little numbers we're printing. So I think I will keep that in the design. So that's working nicely. What's not working so great still? Well, unfortunately, I really thought I had this problem solved, but you can see here, let's take a look at the line, at the jig. Let's see if I can get focus right. Will it focus? Let's try. No, I don't know. Anyway, it's got this rail here. I'll just call it a rail. And what that's supposed to do is fit in right to this part of the key and keep the key pressure fit into the jig and aligned perfectly. And it's just still this gap here between that rail and the back of the jig. It's still just too tight, and the key is not fitting in there. And so it's just too tight. I can't get the key to really rest in there the way it's supposed to. I mean, you really squeeze it, you can kind of get it on a little bit, but it's not the way it should be. Just to give an example of what it should look like, this is my quick set jig. I've got this one now dialed in just where I want it. The jig slides on, it's pressure fit pretty well. It's actually maybe a little tighter than I want it, but it works fine. You can get it on and off. Well, I say you can get it on and off. You can certainly get it on pretty easily, and it's not too challenging. Yeah, you can get it off. It's a little bit tight, but it's dialed in pretty well. It's not too difficult to get it to slide on. And once you slide it on, get it lined up, it's right where it should be. While you're cutting it, it doesn't move around. You should be able to cut these one-handed. I know I got that feedback where you're trying to hold the jig and the key together. That's not the intention. You're supposed to be able to just hold the key with the jig in it like this, so zooming, and make your cut. And that's what I'm trying to get to. And simply just not there yet with the SC1 jig. So probably one or two more iterations and I'll have that figured out. You know, I think that I'm off by, it's a 1/10 of a millimeter or so, but it needs to be done to get it to work the right way. And unfortunately, this leads to some problems because if you're holding it kind of loosely, it's creating, like a trigonometry effect where it should be like this, but it's more like this. It can wobble up and down like that on the key, and that can dramatically affect the depth of the cut of the key. Because I mean, the part that's furthest out, that's where the jig's gonna touch and align to, and that's the depth of the key cut that you're gonna get. And so when you have that kind of movement in there, it's just not right. Even when you push it down all the way and get it lined up, it's still not making the right cut. Let's take a look. I mean, I'm going to do my best here, push it down all the way in there. This is a 5 cut. And let's go for position 2. And I'll go ahead and give it a nip. And yeah, the focus, the cut looks good to the jig, to where it's supposed to be. So the cut was fine, but again, I think the geometry is just not there. So let's take a look. I can try the key gauge. Let me find the Schlage side. Yeah, that's it. Let's take a measurement on the decoder card. And yeah, we're more like at a 4. It can just slide onto the 5. Nah, not really. So we're at a 4 cut. I'm sorry about that. Had just a little video problem there. Now I'm back. So where was I? I just looked at this. We're really at a 4 cut on the key card. Let's take a look at our specs. A 5 cut should be 6.6 millimeters. And let's get out the calipers here. Get it all zeroed out. And then let's take a look. Let me measure it on this flat part. And 6.86. That's way off. I mean, we're 0.26 off from where it should be. And yeah, we're really closer to a 4 cut than a 5 cut there. That's just not legit. Let's take a look at my model here. I'll pull it up on the screen. And you can see from the back where the shoulder of the key, not the shoulder, the back edge of the key aligns to where the top cut of the jig is. It's perfect in the model. You know, we're right at 6.6. So from the model side, I'm pretty confident that the model is good. And, you know, it's the same, you know, I'm using these precise measurements with my other jigs, which are getting good results. So again, I do think it's a problem because of the way the rail is forcing the key up and being cut at an angle that I'm not expecting, which is leading to a bad cut. Well, there's, you know, if you've printed these 1.0 or 1.1 models, there is something that you can do to work on it or to make them work. And that's simply to remove the rail. So what I've done here, you can see from this side, is that there's no rail there. All I've done is taken my pocket knife. I would use an X-Acto knife if I were you, and just cut the rail off completely. Make sure that it's flat on the bottom, that you really get it all off. Maybe you want to sand it a little bit. I haven't quite gone that far yet, and I can see that I still have a little piece of the rail there that I've got to get cleaned up a little bit more, but I did this on the 9 cut. And now if I take my key and I align it here, I'm going to go also to that same 2 position, make sure that I'm aligned well, and I'm going to make that cut. I slid around a little bit there. That's not good. Let me get another chance at that. Okay. Yeah, I feel like that cut was pretty good there relative to the jig. Let's pull out the decoder card again. We can get to a 9. That's good. Without that, we should probably get stuck at the 8. So that looks promising. Let's pull out the spec sheet again. 9 cut, we should be at 5.08 millimeters. And let's take a look here. Let me make sure my key's straight. Yeah, we're getting there. We're like 5.09, so that's really good for this you know, type of 3D printed thing. So yeah, I'm confident that this is right. The spacing to the tip of where the jig goes is good, but we're just not there yet with that rail. Need to get that figured out. You know, this will work, but it's annoying. You gotta just really hold it tight, and makes it awkward to do. You've got to cut those by hand, cut off the rails by hand. It's just not where I was hoping to be with them. So I'm going to take another shot. Version 1.2 should come out soon, and I'll try to get that working nicely. Appreciate everybody that's been giving me feedback. I've got a lot of help so far with people that have tested these early versions, and I'm looking forward to keep making them better. Also, as a surprise with version 1.2, I'll also make them with these holes in them so that they can be put on a wire ring like this. You don't have to print out the box. These are maybe a little easier to carry around. These are the quick set ones. Yeah, I'll make a version like that. So if you want to carry them around on a wire loop, that makes it maybe a little easier to transport. All right, guys. Well, with that, have a good rest of your day, good rest of your week, and hope to see you when I do version 1.2. Bye for now.